Hey, good morning, Michael. Quick demo for your custom saber. This looks like an Imperial Knight. I got this done yesterday, but trying to get this demo done early this morning. So hopefully I can get it out to you in the mail today, right? But you had me install this with a Proffie V2. There were a few modifications to this saber that I had to make, such as like these two screws right here. Like if I show you like this, these two were poking into the handle ID a little bit, so I shaved them way down. They are what actually holds this main shroud on, and then I added a blade retention right here for you. This is a single button setup, so you got the switch right here that does everything. How you get to everything is you just want to unscrew the pommel. I have a spacer in this pommel, but I didn't glue it in. It might be something that I do before I send it, but I'll show you what I mean. Try not to drop it. The spacer right here, you can take it out with your finger. It's about that big, obviously. Slides right in there, and that's meant to help push the chassis forward because you have a removable chassis system. So you got your chassis here. It'll slide right out into your hand. You've got a Smuggler's Outpost 14-pin PCB set in there. And then on the other side of that piece that's holding that PCB, you've got your stock V3s in there. So that's in there exactly where it needs to be. I put a second retention screw right under the switch, but I turned the shroud before I did it, put it in there, and then put the shroud back so you never see it. But that's how that piece is held in place. If you ever need to get to it, you'll need to take these off, turn the shroud, and then you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. It's right underneath the switch, about right here, okay? But when you do that, slide your chassis out. This is what you've got. So completely removable. 28 millimeter Smuggler's Outpost Elite speaker. You got your Proffie board here and access to your SD card and your micro USB. You never have to move the board, although this is just a tight snap fit down into the shelf and it shouldn't move on you. And then of course you've got a removable battery setup. This is an LGT Proffie, so it comes with I don't know how many sound fonts, but there's quite a few on here. And then all the config files that you would need for a 2-button or a 1-button setup are on the SD card, and I left them alone. But you'll find the 1-button config, obviously, that I use for this guy on the SD card. Okay, so that's what you've got right there. We'll throw a battery in this guy.
Somehow, I've always known.
It's a very loud saber, right? So we got the battery in there. Throw it in any way you want. And then we'll take this and we'll screw this in as well. Now that spacer that I was telling you about, that helps push the chassis forward and engage all of those pins. So when we tighten that all the way down, come over here and hit activation. Your LEDs are firing up. The saber is super loud. Blade lock up. Just hold the button down to turn it off, and it'll turn off just like that. And we'll throw a blade in it. Takes a 1-inch diameter neopixel blade. Go ahead and lock it down. Very solid. Just hold the button down and turn it off. Double tap for your soundtrack. Double tap again to turn it off.
Ascension.
Blade lock up. Hold it to turn it off. To get to your next sound font, it's just a long press on the button when the saber's off. one more.
Ben Solo.
One more double tap for his soundtrack. And again, we'll turn it off. Just like that. We'll go ahead and we'll take the blade out and then go over taking the battery out. Very easy to do. Pop this out. We'll come over here from your pommel and we'll pop this out too. And I will probably just glue down that spacer before I send it out so you don't have to mess with it. And then, let me turn this light on, sorry. To get to the battery, you probably won't be able to take it out with your finger. I'll just use a tool, you know, from the positive side and pop it out just like that. But that's basically your Imperial Knight. Let me know if you got any questions, and if not, I will get this out in the mail to you today. All right, thanks.